तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना. We are studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and yesterday we completed the conversations of 9th December 1883, and now that was a Sunday, and now within the same chapter and same Bengali section, the following morning, that means now it is the 10th December. So that conversation we have to read now. The following morning, the master and M, it was mentioned that M is going to spend the night there. So he was there right from the early morning. And M were talking in the garden. M, then I shall stay here. That means he will have some vacation from the school and he wants to spend some days with Sri Ramakrishna directly in his company. That night he has stayed, but now he wants to go back and bring his things, arrange for his living, and wants to stay there. So about that, let us see what instruction Sri Ramakrishna gives. When one householder, Sri Ramakrishna has told many times that now and then he should go to solitude, now and then he should spend time in the company of sadhus or devotees. Now here, Master Masha is going to spend some time with Sri Ramakrishna. And he will have solitude also, and he will have company of Sri Ramakrishna also. So for that now, what further instruction Thakur gives, that we have to see. Master, well, you all come here so often. So first he wants to check what idea he has about Sri Ramakrishna by now. And so his stay will be of that quality. So he is making him aware and so wants to ask him. So that is the first thing. With which type of sadhu or bhakta you are going to stay? What is his stature? That you must know. For that Sri Ramakrishna is asking, well, you all come here so often. What does it mean? People visit a holy man once at the most. But you all come here so often. What is the significance of that? M remained silent. He is thinking within himself what to speak. The master himself gave the reply. So he had put this as a leading question, and now he himself replied. Master, could you come here unless you belong to my inner circle? In the previous conversation, we have seen Thakur tells him that you are my relative. You are my own, you are my relative. And as we understand later on, M was behaving like the son of Sri Ramakrishna in all worldly matters. in all matters of practical spiritual life, he was behaving like a son to Sri Ramakrishna. So all others who are coming, that is what Sri Ramakrishna is telling. Could you come here unless you belong to my inner circle? That means you are all my own relatives. Yes, here itself. My own people, like father and son, brother and sister. So he has mentioned directly, like father and son. Now, brother and sister is not relevant here because Master Masha is not a girl. So, brother and sister relation is not there. Or maybe deep inside, that may be the type of relation. Why he has mentioned Thakur's talks are very significant. So, there are two possibilities. One is that father and son is the relation. And he has mentioned, because he is talking of you people, so brother and sister also may be there. But sisters, we do not, yes, they did used to go to Dakshineshwar and spend some nights with Holy Mother. So that can be the one thing. Or maybe the overlapping of certain delicate relations. Maybe, but father and son is what he has told first. I do not tell you everything. If I did, would you come here anymore? That means the instructions will be gradual. He's about himself, about spiritual life in general. He will give instructions gradually. If he reveals everything, then would you come here? So, this hints that his instructions are going to be gradual. Once, Shukadeva went to Janaka to be instructed in the knowledge of Brahman. The story in full is like that. Shukadeva was the son of Badara and Vyasa. Was the son of Vyasa, which Vyasa we have to point out, not Badara. Krishna Deva Vyasa. Now Vyasa had prayed for a very pure son. So this son was born to him. And Vyasadeva himself was a householder, was a married man, as we see. And he instructed Shukadeva in everything which he knew. But Shuka had a doubt because his father wanted him to stay at the home. So whether he has revealed everything to me or kept something still with him. Whatever his experiences have been, he's sure about those experiences. But is that the ultimate experience or something has still remained? This doubt was in Shuka's mind. And his father saw that doubt. Now he himself has instructed him. So what further he can tell? Shukadeva may not believe that. But Janaka, though the king and householder, was a famous Brahmagyani in those days. So Vyasadeva thought, if I send Shuka to Janaka and let him, from him, verify, certify that his knowledge is full. With that idea, Vyasadeva sent Shukadeva to Janaka. So, you go and ask him for Brahmajnan. Once Shukadeva went to Janaka to be instructed in the knowledge of Brahman. Janaka said, first give me my fee. So a different idea there, that when you realize God, there is equality between the Guru and Shishya. There is no more Guru and Shishya. When he has become a knower of Brahman, there is no difference of Shishya and Guru in his mind. And so the fees as due for the Guru, you give me now. First give me my fee. But said Shukadeva, why should I give you the fee before receiving the instruction? So these Puranic stories are woven in different ways to convey some spiritual truths. Janaka laughed and said, will you be conscious of Guru and disciple after attaining Brahmajnana? That is why I asked you to give me the fee first. So all this story by Thakur is to instruct Master Mahasaya that I have not told you everything. I want to instruct you gradually. That is the thing. But he has given this form that if I give you everything, you will not come here afterwards. There will be no need to come here. But mind you, need to come and coming are different things. Please note down. There may not be need to come, but the love factor reaches its maximum and the disciple always will want to stay with the Guru. That is the idea. I will tell another story about it. There was one Rammai Maharaj. As a brahmachari, he used to serve the Holy Mother, mix with all the lady devotees. Holy Mother had given him that power or that blessing, and Holy Mother would never take the service, physical service from a sannyasi out of honor for the sannyas ashrama. And so long as Holy Mother was in their body, Ramai had not taken sannyasa. After Holy Mother's passing away, Mahapurush Maharaj one day called him and said, Ramai, now you should take sannyas. Ramai Maharaj said, all right, as you order Maharaj. So Mahapurush Maharaj himself gave sannyas to Ramai Maharaj with the name Gauri Shwarananda. After sannyas, Ramai Maharaj has come to pay respects to Mahapurush Maharaj to fall at his feet and all that. That time, Mahapurush Maharaj tells, now Ramai sannyasi, don't care. You understand, don't care. Ramai Maharaj will not care for us as gurus. Sannyasi is a free soul. Sannyasi means he has attained his goal. All sannyasis are equal. So he says, Ramai is now sannyasi, don't care. Ramai Maharaj says, Maharaj, how do you say that? I will always be your dasanudas, servant of your servants. Mahapurush Maharaj again says, no, Ramai is sannyasi, don't care. And Ramai Maharaj again repeats that I will be your dasanudas. This went on certain times. What is the meaning? From Guru's point of view, from consciousness point of view, Ramai Maharaj need not pay respect to his Guru. But out of the love factor, Ramai Maharaj says, I will always be your dasanudas. This is the relation in Ramakrishna Mission of all sannyasis with their gurus. On one side, the disciples feel he is my guru, I love him. On the other side, guru makes all shishyas free. So that is here we see Thakur is not talking to sannyasis, but guru shishya relation comes to an end when the shishya's life is fulfilled. That is the principle, and for that I told you this story. So, between Janaka and Shukadeva, there Janaka was a householder, Shukadeva was the Paramahansa, but the idea remains the same. So now what happened throughout that day is not mentioned. Whether No, he has not yet come to stay. But that day he is still there. That day he is still there. It was night. So during the day, he must have spent his time in seclusion and meditation. The moon rose, flooding all the quarters with its silvery light. M was walking alone in the garden of the temple. On one side of the path stood the Panchavati, the Bakul grove, the Nahabat, and the master's room. And Bakul grove, that is, Bakul Tala. That's why I doubted. Grove suggests as if there are more than one Bakula tree. In Bengal, it is Bakula Tala. That means at the foot, near the foot of the Bakula tree. So we know there is a big Bakula tree. Bakula is the beautiful white flowers. And there is a ghat adjoining, and Holy Mother used to take her bath there. It is very near the Nabat. So that is mentioned here. Grow does not mean here a cluster of trees, but one big tree with shadow and its food. On one side of the path stood the Panchavati, the Bakula tree, the Nahabat, that is mother's place, and the master's room. And on the other side flowed the Ganges, reflecting millions of broken moons. Reflecting millions of broken moons. That means when the waves rise, the moon appears to be broken on the reflection, on its rippling surface. So that is the situation described by the Master Maharshi. M said to himself, can one really see God? That doubt is not yet gone. The Master says it is possible. He says that if one makes a little effort, there someone comes forward and shows the way. Well, I am married, I have children. Can one realize God in spite of all that? Because the mind normally may not become attached, but feels responsible for the wife and the children. And that is what Thakur also has taught him. So will the mind be free to think of God always? M reflected a while and continued his soliloquy. That means he is still talking to himself. Surely one can. Otherwise, why should the master say so? So his faith on master has grown fully. Why shouldn't it be possible through the grace of God? So the factor is grace of God. Whatever may be your condition. I remember an incident directly in Nagpur. There was one Mr. Mudaliar. He did not want to marry. He studied Vedanta. But something, circumstances forced him to marry. That brought a sort of dejection in his mind. And I have seen Many times a scene repeated. He would come to my Guruji and say, an householder cannot realize God. Maharaj, isn't it? And each time my Guruji replied, Mudaliyar, I tell you, you will realize. That means householder sannyasi, Maharaj is not telling the general way. But he knows Mudaliyar, and so he says, by Thakur's grace, that Mudaliyar, I tell you, you will realize. And this conversation I have heard any number of times, because the doubt would be there in Mudaliyar's mind, the dejection would be there, and he would repeat the question, and Maharaj would repeat the answer. So that is what his Master Mahashaya is saying. Thakur has said, by the grace of God, here is the world around me, the general world. The sun, moon, stars, living beings, and the 24 cosmic principle that is picked up from Thakur's talk. How did they come into existence? Who is their creator? What am I to him? So, main important thing is your relationship with God. Now, God has created the entire universe, including the living beings, including Master Mahashaya. So, what is the relation? What am I to him? Life is indeed vain without this knowledge. So, first of all, the relationship knowledge is important. Without that, life is vain. Very important advice to all devotees, sannyasis, householders, that the first step in life is to feel a relationship with God. Thakur has called that as the ripe eye. Without that, everything is vain. That means hollow, zero, appearing maybe big things, but all that bigness is hollow, zero, unless you feel related to God in a particular relation. Sometimes the relations overlap, and Thakur has told father and son, brother and sister, Sri Ramakrishna is certainly the best of men. So this he has understood. Whether God or not, he goes on reflecting many times. But how he can be sure unless he knows what is God and what is the incarnation? In all my life, I have not seen another great soul like him. So he is analyzing now about himself, he has analyzed, now about Thakur is analyzing. Analytical mind should always be awake, is the lesson here. He must have seen God, so that is very clear that he has seen God. Otherwise, how could he talk with God day and night? That he has seen actually, addressing him so intimately as mother. So it is God which Thakur calls, that Mahasmasha is clear. And for the intimacy, he calls God as mother. Otherwise, how could he love God so intimately? Such is his love for God that he forgets the outer world. So all things he has seen in Master is analyzing. He goes into samadhi and remains like a lifeless thing. Again, in the ecstasy of that love, he laughs and cries and dances and sings. So, either is in samadhi or constant communion with God, and the joy of that communion and the expression through singing and dancing. This he has seen in Thakur, he has brought that to his mind, and the conversation that ends there. the declaration he has left for us. So against that doubt, he has brought this conviction as far as he knows, and inference is that he is God, and he has the grace of God, and he has the power to shower his grace on me. So I need not worry that he has not written here, but that seems to be his conclusion. Now he had said that I will come and live. Friday, December 14, 1883. So when he went back and all that is not mentioned. But he has now in Dakshineshwar on December 14. At 9 o'clock in the morning, Sri Ramakrishna was standing on the southeast veranda near the door of his room with Ramlal by his side, his nephew. Rakhal and Latu were moving about. M arrived and prostrated himself before the master. Sri Ramakrishna said to him affectionately, "You have come, that's very good. Today is an auspicious day." Thakur knew everything auspicious and inauspicious, and this adds to the fact that he has come on a proper time. It was the last day of the Bengali month, Sankranti. Sankranti is very auspicious. Transition of the sun between stars, and so transition in his life. And the day of the full moon, and it was Purnima also. M was going to spend a few days with the master, practicing spiritual discipline. One funny thing I want to tell here, from all the accounts which we have, M received his mantra from the Holy Mother. Means not from Sri Ramakrishna. And instructions he was receiving continuously from Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna told him also, you practice a little, someone will come and tell you. So tell you means guidance, tell you means initiation. And why and when did Holy Mother initiate him is not very clear. Was it during these days? Anyway, that is I leave to you people. But that is, as far as we know, he got his mantra from Holy Mother. In one book about the Holy Mother, written by Ashesha Chaitanya, one of Holy Mother's disciples who had to go out of the mission as a brahmachari. And he has written a book. And at the end of the book, there is a big appendix because he was constant companion with Holy Mother. So who received initiation from Holy Mother, that he has given list. In that, Master Masha's name is there. You can sit on the chair. So it was an auspicious day according to Sri Ramakrishna, Sankranti also and Purnima also. The master had said to him, if an aspirant practices a little spiritual discipline, then someone comes forward to help him. So that was in his mind when he came to stay there. The master had said to him, you should not eat every day at the guest house of the Kali temple. You are an householder, you earn money. So you should not take food from the guest house of the Kali temple. Now and then you can take as prasad, but you should not depend upon that. So see the instructions for a householder, different from instructions for the sannyasis. So very clear. The guest house is intended to supply free food to monks and the destitute. Beggars take food there. Those who do not earn money, you are earning money. And Thakur himself has told him to earn money because he is an householder. Bring your own cook with you. So Master Mashe need not cook food, but he should not take from the guest house also. So he has means now, so he should bring his cook with him. Practical details. And that Kali temple can accommodate all. M had accordingly done so. So Master had already told him previously when M had expressed the idea of spending time there. So M had already brought. The Master arranged a place for the man to cook, and he asked Ramlal to speak to the milkman about milk. So Master Master used to take milk, that also he will pay, but Ramlal will tell the milkman to supply milk. Arrangement. He showed the place for cooking because he knows the temple inside and outside fully. So what should be the proper place? A little later, Ramlal began to read from the Adhyatma Ramayana. That was Thakur's favorite book. It is actually the part of Brahmanda Purana. So it is a part of a Puran. But this portion particular deals with Advaita only. And so it was a favorite thing with Thakur. And he has asked Ramlal to read out to him those lessons which are common for sannyasis and householders. Because we know that when he used to talk to sannyasin, he used to see till the gate that no householder is there. So though Adhyatma Ramayana talks of Advaita Vedanta, it should be heard by all. That idea we are getting here. That is one of the difference between Shankaracharya's presentation of Vedanta and Thakur's presentation of Vedanta. Shankaracharya says Vedanta will benefit only the sannyasis. Householders may read, he says. Nobody can deny them reading, but that will not lead to Brahmajnan unless they take to sannyas. On the other hand, following Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda has said the Vedanta of the forest can be brought home. He has gone to the extent of telling a fisherman will become better fisherman, a lawyer will become better lawyer, a farmer will become better farmer if he can assimilate Vedanta. So that is one big difference, not between the assertion of truth, but between the practical aspect of Vedanta. The master and M listened while he read. Rama had married Sita after breaking the great bow of Shiva. On the way to Ayodhya with his bride, Rama was confronted by the warrior sage Parashurama. This is an important thing. This is also in Valmiki Ramayana. But Tulsi Ramayana tells us that Parshuram came to that marriage hall. So the Puranas have different stories. But here he clearly mentioned that on the way back they met Parshuram. who was about to make trouble for him, Parshurama threw a bow at Rama and challenged him to string it. That is, Parshurama himself is considered an avatar, and he was told that somebody may wield or break that Shiva Dhanusha, but if he can wield the Vishnu Dhanusha, then you can recognize that he is incarnation. And he was carrying that Vishnu Dhanusha with him, that he threw at Rama. And challenged him to string it. Because to string the Shiva Dhanusha, others could not do. Rama only had done. Dasharatha, Rama's father, was seized with fear. With a smile, Rama took the bow in his left hand and stringed it. Then, twanging the bow string, he fixed an arrow and asked Parshurama where to shoot it. Because when the bow has been stringed, arrow put, it will not go to waste. But the direction where to shoot, Rama was absolutely expert in Dhanurvidya. So he gave the choice to Parshurama. That curbed the pride of the warrior sage. Prostrating himself before Rama, Parshurama worshipped him as the Supreme Brahman. It does not mention here. Rama would not hit Parshurama with that bow. And Parshurama had two special things with him above humanity. One was his speed. In twinkling of an eye, he had come from that long distance mountain where he was spending. And the second was, he had made so much tapasya that he had earned many lokas out of that fruit. And Parshuram did not want to lose that power of quick traveling. And he was not averse to doing tapasya again. So he told Rama, you shoot the arrow on the lokas which are earned by tapasya. I will again go back quickly and do tapasya there. And there he showed a direction and Rama shot the arrow there. Now one funny thing which comes to my mind just now, suppose this happened in the marriage hall. How will Rama's arrow go? Through the walls? Or through some door or window or aperture? Here they are on open road. So my mind tells me that this is the correct description, not Tulsidas. As Sri Ramakrishna listened to Parshurama's hymn, so now come to Thakur. All this is he has read. But when it comes to Parshurama's hymn, he went into a spiritual mood and now and then chanted the name of Rama in his melodious voice. Thakur himself, an incarnation, knew how to worship the incarnation. And he had an unusually sweet voice because it was not human voice. Then the master asked Ramlal to read about Guhaka. Who is Guhaka? The Nishad. He was not a Chandal, but because they did not observe the caste rules and all that, he is termed as Chandal. He was the king of the, in today's language, ST you can say. scheduled tribes, the forest dwellers. And his kingdom was around the Ayodhya kingdom. And he was with Rama in Vashishta's Gurukul, either as a student or in any capacity. And there a friendship had been struck in them. And that made Gohaka, his name is Gohaka. And that made Gohaka, both of them, to retain that friendship till the end. And that is why we see in Swami Vivekananda's description of Ramakrishna through Rama, Achandala Pratyatarayo Yasya Prema Pravaha. So that is Gohaka. And Thakur asked him to read about Gohaka. So the loving relation between the God and man. Gohaka the Pariha. In English, the lowest caste or outside caste that is called Pariha, untouchable, was chief of the untouchables, chief of the forest dwellers, and an intimate friend of Rama. So in one line it is described when Rama, Sita and Lakshmana were starting into the forest to redeem Dasharatha's pledge. This perhaps everybody must be knowing. Rama was the eldest son. Dasharatha had three main wives. He had 353 wives. Oh. Now, he was not having a son, so he invited some specialist Rishi on advice of Vashishta, his preceptor, and he performed a yajna, special yajna, Putra Kameshti, and the yajna Purusha. A Purusha came out of the flames with some prasadam, milk pudding in his hand. And that he told, give to your wives. And Dasharatha gave that to Kausalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi. And Sumitra's thing was taken away by a kite. So both Kausalya and Kaikeyi gave her half portion. And so she had two sons. And because from Kausalya she had received a portion, so the elder of the two, Lakshmana, was totally attached to Sri Rama. And because from Kaikeyi she had received a portion, so Shatrughna was totally devoted to Bharata. That is the story. Now, and Dasharatha had become old, and Rama was already started helping him in the governance. And Dasharatha was a very popular king. But people were expecting more from Rama. Knowing all this through his spies, Dasharatha decided to coronate Rama officially as Yuvaraja, that means Prince in waiting. And he asked Rama to perform rituals in preparation of that. And Rama was busy in that with Sita. And Dasharatha then told Kaikeyi about this. And before that, Kaikeyi's maidservant, Manthara, who came from her father's place, had come to know already. And she totally poisoned Kaikeyi's mind. on the factor of jealousy, that Kaushalya will become king's mother and you will not be treated with respect. You will have to wait on her. So Kaikeyi, though originally very happy because Rama is coronated, she used to take Rama as her own son. And Rama paid equal respect to all the mothers. But she was poisoned by Manthara, and when Dasharatha came to tell her, she feigned she is angry and forced Dasharatha. In some previous war, Dasharatha had gone to help the gods against the Asuras, and Kaikeyi had gone with him. And the axle of his chariot was broken, and Kaikeyi put her hand in it and saved his life. So Dasharatha asked her, ask any two boons, if it is my capacity, I will give you. She said, I don't require anything now. If I require, I will ask you. And that Manthara reminded, and Kaikeyi asked, one boon, make Bharata the future king instead of Rama. And send Rama to 14 years of forest. That shocked Dasharatha. Anyway, so this much is the background of the story. Then what happened? Lakshmana and Sita separately, they would not leave Rama. They were not asked to go to forest. But Lakshmana said, I will come to with you. Sita also, in spite of everybody telling her, don't go. Rama himself, Dasharatha, Vashishta, she said, where husband goes, the wife must go, I will go. So, when Rama, Sita and Lakshmana were starting into the forest to redeem Dasharatha's place, you understand that? To redeem Dasharatha's place because Dasharatha himself was telling Rama, don't go. But he has pledged to Kaikeyi that Rama wanted to redeem. Gohaka ferried them across the river. That is, they crossed Gohaka's territory and they came to Ganges and they wanted to go beyond. Rama embraced Gohaka tenderly and told him he was going to spend 14 years in exile, wearing the bark of trees and eating the herbs, fruits, and roots that grew in the woods. That is what Kaikeyi had asked. Muni Vritti. Like the rishis, you spend the life there. One small point I should mention here because the questions will come. Now, like the rishis or munis, and this is what it describes. But it does, that means don't eat what the society people eat. But it does not preclude from eating meat. And Valmiki Ramayana describes how Rama and Lakshmana used to shoot deer, roast him and eat. Anyway, that is a small point. He promised to visit Gohaka again on his way back to Ayodhya. After the period of exile was over, the Pariya king waited patiently. But when the 14th year had run out and Rama had not returned, Gohaka lighted a funeral pyre. About Bharata we know. that if you do not come, I will burn myself. But Guhaka also is doing the same thing. Adhyatma Ramayana. Huh? He was on the point of entering it when Hanuman arrived as Rama's messenger. In a celestial chariot, Rama and Sita soon appeared, and Guhaka's joy was unbounded. Thakur wanted to listen to that from Adhyatma Ramayana. After the midday meal, so that was in the morning, Sri Ramakrishna lay down on his bed to rest. M was seated on the floor. Presently, Dr. Sharma and a few devotees arrived. So a new person, new name we are getting here. Huh? Sham Doctor. So as per our custom, we will trace in the Bengali book appendix mere details about that Sham. Shri has come before Shamapada Bhattacharya, Pandit Shamapada Bhattacharya, Nyayavadi, Sham Basu, Sham Das, Sham Doctor. Only this much is mentioned. That day he had come and listened from Sri Ramakrishna's talk. So it does not appear he came as a doctor, though he was a doctor. Presently, Dr. Sham and a few devotees arrived. The master sat upon the bed and began to converse with them. So this is Thakur's afternoon rest. Master, it is by no means necessary for a man always to be engaged in his duties. Duties as householder. Actions drop away when one realizes God, as the flower drops off itself when the fruit appears. So he is giving the ideal to be attained by the householders. Action or duty as householder is not something eternal. It has to be done to grow spiritually. And when the growth comes, a point comes when you are realizing God. Even on the way to realize God, then the duty drops off. You don't have to renounce action, the action themselves drop off. So that is they are both householders, it appears. But Thakur is telling them this. An example is very easy. Flower is there, but when the fruit grows, flower drops off. One need not pluck that flower, it drops off. He who has realized God no longer performs religious duties. So duties firstly said householder duties, and now religious duties, the karma portion of the religion, such as the sandhya. In his case, the sandhya merges in Gayatri. This Mastermash had heard on the first day visiting Thakur. So let us remember again what is sandhya and what is Gayatri. I heard some monk, anyway. No, people might have heard. A venerable monk, there was a record. At some place, I don't remember, the driver who was carrying me a long distance, he had put up that record. And there, I will just not tell the name of the song. That Swami was telling, it is a case of expansive to brief. Vistar, Sankoch. That is all right. But Sankoch will be of the Vistar, na? Anyway, I will not tell the name, but the reason people will know the name. He was Jain before he joined. Now, the Sandhya is not known to Jains, that is a Hinduism special. Sandhya full name is Sandhya Vandana. And Sandhya Vandana is not worship of the Sandhya. It is worship of God, taking the most auspicious time, which is Sandhya. And the main part of that Sandhya is Gayatri Japam. Now, Gayatri Japam, people can do independently. But to the beginner, it is not possible. And so, an elaborate ritual has been made by the rishis. You do that, you do this, you do this, and chant Gayatri. So the whole thing is called Sandhya Vandana. So its short form means Gayatri. Nothing else. But this Swami was telling that expensive to shortening, if you make pranayama, it is Sandhya. If you concentrate your mind, if you discriminate, I don't remember all the details, but like that he was narrating. That is Sandhya, that is Sandhya, that is Sandhya. No. Sandhya, then it's shortening, how it will, Gayatri will jump there. It is shortening, not just something elaborate and something short. It is a shortening of that elaborate. And shortening is the essential part. When one has become practiced that, then you can chant Gayatri independently. That is what Thakur told on the first day and here also. So, understood? Now, Thakur is telling that who has realized God no longer performs religious duties such as the Sandhya. In his case, the Sandhya merges in the Gayatri. If these things are Sandhya, how will it merge in Gayatri? So Sandhya Vandana itself means an elaborate ritual drawn up to do Gayatri Japam. So that elaborate ritual is not necessary. It drops out and only Gayatri Mantra remains. About Gayatri, let me tell you something, because this has been misconceived by a big organization who have made Gayatri popular throughout India and maybe in other parts of the world. They conceive of a Devi called Gayatri Devi. Now Gayatri Devi is there. The name of the mantra is Savitri mantra. Savitri should not bring to your mind Satyavan Savitri. Savitru means sun god. The hymn to sun god is called Savitri mantra. The meter in which it is composed is Gayatri meter. And our rishis saw God or deities in everything. So this Gayatri meter has a devata called Gayatri. But that is not the devata of the mantra. Devata of the mantra is sun god. And sun god also is a symbol. The actual devata of that mantra is Hiranyagarbha, the indwelling, God as the indwelling reality. That is the whole history. So, it is enough for a person. In his case, the Sandhya merges in Gayatri. When that happens, it is enough for a person to repeat just the Gayatri mantra. Then the Gayatri merges in Om. Now, Om is chanted at the beginning and end of Gayatri. And this Upasana, if it is Saguna Brahma Upasana or even Nirguna Brahma Upasana, so the whole Gayatri is statement of fact, is meditation and prayer to that sun god. And Om is the symbol of sun god. So even this again becomes short. So one does not need to chant the whole Gayatri. One concentrates with the help of one syllable, Om. Then the Gayatri merges in Om. After that, one no longer chants even the Gayatri. It is enough then to chant simply Om. How long should a man practice such devotion as the Sandhya? As long as he does not feel a thrill in his body and shed tears of joy while repeating the name of Rama or of Hari. In other places, Om also is mentioned. Now, what is this? This can be called in Vedanta Jnana Nishtha. He feels directly God's presence everywhere, that Hiranyagarbha's presence. And he derives joy out of that. That is, we may say, Anandamaya Kosha. And so much joy that becomes intoxicated, tears come through his eyes. So if this state is reached, he does not need Gayatri. But he has not yet reached perfection. Something is still necessary. And that Thakur is telling, chant the name of Rama or Hari or Om. Now here shortening, Ram or Hari also has come. Because Thakur is the prophet of harmony. He makes no difference between names of God. This much is contained in this. People worship God to win money or a lawsuit. That is not good. So the purpose of worshipping God, suppose you chant the name of Rama for a lawsuit. Thakur is saying it is not good. It means that you love worldly prosperity, you do not love God. You make God a medium for attaining your selfish ends. You know God is all powerful. And you want to make that all powerful God as a means or medium for your worldly gain. So it cannot be termed as bhakti at all, that it appears as bhakti. So that is not good straight away. A devotee, we find that everyone strives after money. Even Keshav Sen married his daughter to a prince because they knew Thakur loved Keshav Sen very much. And he generalizes that everyone wants money. And Keshav is the example. Now, one point which you find before Thakur replies that he did not worship God for money. Money he earned by his labor. And it is Thakur's instruction that the householder must earn money. Master, Keshav's case is quite different, straight away. God provides everything for a genuine devotee, even without his making any effort. So when you reach that state, Thakur is telling, then the work drops out. And we should not worship God for money. So on that the objection is made. And the Bhagavad Gita tells us, Ananyas chintayanto mam yajana paripasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshema vamyam. I provide what is necessary in their life and I protect what is necessary for them. So, even without his making any effort, the son of a real king gets his monthly allowance. Real king, son, God and devotee, gets his monthly allowance. I am not talking of lawyers and men of that sort who go through suffering in order to earn money and who become slaves of others to that end. That is what money costs. Hey, we have crossed our time like anything today. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhirīditam Kalmashāpaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadaatatam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.